So unless you speak to someone that doesn't know who I am, I'm not considered homeless.
I'll put that all in a letter to you. Obviously, I need to go and write that all up for you, which could take some time. So, as I said, I can email it to you if you would like.
Okay, but I'm going to be homeless as of Monday. This is my last opportunity to get housing. So can I speak to your manager, please?
So you can come to us Monday if you want.
I'll be homeless by then. All my shit will be on the street. So I need to speak to someone today. I know nothing's going to have changed between now and Monday because I'm not going to consent to you speaking to someone that doesn't know me. That's just ridiculous, right? So you need to get your manager to come and speak to me, please.
It's that manager that's told me.
Yeah, they can come and say it to my face because I don't want to come for you. I'll go for them. They're the ones that get this bullshit.
Gatekeeping what?
Homeless services. It is. Nottingham City Council have been done for this multiple times. So don't try and fucking talk down to me, bro, because I'm not here for it. You need to go get your manager.
But what you're telling us is we're gatekeeping an application and all that stuff.
You're asking me to do something that's impossible. I can't give you. I don't even have the guy's phone number. So how am I supposed to give you his number?
We'll find that out.
But it's going to put my life in the shit if you do that.
Okay.
So you need to go get your manager, please.
Good morning. Benjamin.
Hello, Benjamin.
So my colleague Sam's spoken with you, but you want to speak to myself?
Yeah.
Okay.
What Sam told you about my situation?
Sam's informed me that, well, I've read the notes, I see you spoke with Anna previously, you spoke with Sharon. Sam's informed me of what you said in terms of no one is to contact the landlord, no one is to contact Steve.
No, someone's already contacted Steve.
Yeah.
I was subletting off Steve.
I want to speak to Steve. With all due respect, my friend, I'm not here to rehash the conversation you've had.
Okay, now I'm asking you what details you know about my situation so I can discuss it with you further.
I'm not here to rehash the conversation you've already had.
Okay, so you're asking me to provide a phone number for a landlord I've never met because I was sofa surfing, who doesn't know me, who is just going to cause me lots of problem and jeopardise Steve's relationship with his landlord. No, because I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you. You're talking over me now. I'm talking to you. I'm telling you what the situation is.
I'm not prepared to have a hostile conversation with you. If you're saying that you don't have the contact number for the landlord,
Because I've never met them.
fine. We can contact Steve and obtain the contact.
You've already spoken to Steve.
But
But Steve wasn't supposed to be letting me stay there. So when you call Steve and ask Steve to confirm whether or not I lived there with the landlord didn't know I was living there because he was subletting it to me and I was sofa surfing.
And not to rehash the conversation that you've just had with Sam and Alana and my colleague Sharon previously, but then how do we satisfy ourselves that you were staying there?
Well, so
Because
I
it's
registered
incorporate-
NFA with the GP.
Incorporate, and I'm not here to have that conversation you just would have with Sam about you still being at Wallace Road, but also being NFA with the GP. I've come here because I've been advised that, you wanted correspondence in writing about which is fine.
And also, I want to know why, under Section 20 of the Equality Act, when I first came in, right, so I don't want to rehash the conversation for you, but I spent 10 years working in homelessness, the framework, right? The reason why I'm currently homeless is because I witnessed a murder at work, right? Got diagnosed with PTSD, was signed off sick, framework fucked me over because they're a bag of shite, right? Now I've come here because I'm now about to be made homeless. When I first came in on Monday, I said to the first person I saw, I said, look, under the Equality Act, Section 20, I require reasonable adjustments. My PTSD is directly around homeless people and was caused by it. And there is people that were associated with the murder in the room, right? Now, at that point, they did the right thing. They took me into a side office, right? After that, when I met the caseworker and Sharon, it was in the public space. Now, if you know anything about the Equality Act, you will know that you can't then backtrack reasonable adjustments. So when I came in today, again, I said, I need reasonable adjustments. It's not a safe environment for me. Yet I was made to wait out there for hours. Like, so that's already, you've already fucked it on this, on S20 of the Equality Act, right? Have you got anything to say about that?
I'm not going to speak no to it.
Okay, no, okay, so what is your explanation for around that failure around my reasonable
I don't
adjustment?
really comment to make at that time. I'd have to make further investigations.
Okay, well, I've already made a complaint and I've not had a response to that. That complaint was made on Monday and involved safeguarding issues,
Well,
right? So that
there's
should
a
have
time
been
frame
already
for that.
taken.
There's a time frame for that. I'm not involved in the complaints procedure, so I don't want to muddy that process. It's separate to now. But that's its own individual sort of concept. I'm not involved with the complaints procedure, so I wouldn't know what's contained within it. And there's a timescale for response that I know isn't 7 days at least.
It's usually 10 days, to be fair. But safeguarding, usually, if it's gone to your safeguarding officer, like it should have done, because I've worked in these services, if it's gone to your safeguarding officer, they should have picked that up straight the fuck away, because I said, I'm suicidal, right? Straight away, they should have been all over that shit. And what have I got? Absolutely fuck all. I was called a liar by Sharon. She called me a liar to my face. She didn't even sit down to talk to me. She stood over me, called me a liar. Is that what you call customer service? Is that what you call trauma-informed care? Are you trained in trauma-informed? Are you trained in trauma-informed care?
I am.
Okay.
No,
Is Sharon? Is Sharon trained in trauma-informed care?
I'm not Sharon's supervisor. I'm not her manager, so it's not appropriate for me to comment on what she is and isn't trained on. Equally, I'm not Sharon. I wasn't privy to that conversation, so I appreciate you're saying she's a liar. I don't know if it's contained in the. Sorry, let me rephrase that. You're not saying she was a liar. You're saying she called you a liar.
Yeah, she called me a liar.
It's not from. You may put out the complaint. You may not have. But that'll
I can show you the complaint if you want. It's pretty hefty.
It's not for me to be involved with, sir. But equally, I've come in now because I've been informed that you want information in writing. Not an issue. You can draft a letter. Not a problem. I've told Sam to make it available for you by Monday.
At that point, I will be on the street.
Well, Sam's an appointment. Realistically,
I will be on the street by Monday.
Sir. So
no, I will be on the street by Monday, though.
The caseworkers have to be reallocated.
I will be on the street by Monday. I will be on the street by Monday. I will be on the street by Monday.
Sam's come to see you separately, giving me advice. Whether you believe that's satisfactory or not is a different separate conversation. But he's informed the inquiries you'd like to make, and then subsequently you've asked for them in writing.
Okay, I tell you what. You ring Steve now. You ring him in front of me. Ring him now. Contravene GDPR in front of me. I guarantee you, I will go to the ICO, bro.
I'm not here to do that, sir. You've come in and asked for your reasons in writing. I've asked Sam to make that way to you, and I've been informed you want to speak to me.
Yeah.
As we said before, I'm not here to rehash conversations.
Okay, well, can you do what Sam said he had to do, which is call my flatmate?
Sir, I will be doing that.
You won't do that. So you are refusing to offer me any sort of accommodation or help.
It's currently to yes.
But I'm saying, okay, I'm giving you consent to call him now.
Okay.
Call him then,
So
in front of me though. I want to hear this
I'll have to
conversation.
contact them later on. But
What?
Sam's an appointment.
No, I'm asking you to do it.
It's not my role to do that, sir.
What is your role then?
My role today is as chief manager to manage the whole service as a whole.
Okay, so you're refusing to do anything and you're going to leave me to be homeless on Monday?
No, sir, I'm informed you that I've asked Sam to make those inquiries because you've now advised that he's able to do so.
Wow. I don't know if I should consent to it, to be fair, because I'm pretty sure it's going to be illegal and I will be calling shelter after this.
You're more than welcome to do so. I'll look out for their correspondence.
So what happens next then? Can you detail exactly what I do between now and Monday so I don't end up sleeping on the street? I'm asking you specifically for housing advice right now, what I do, where I go, how I do not end up sleeping on the street as a vulnerable adult with PTSD.
Okay, no problem. If you're looking for homeless assistance, we're going to. Sorry, I'm losing contact lens. I don't think I'm being rude. Apologies for that.
Sorry.
If you want us to make contact in terms of homeless assistance and what we can provide, we have to satisfy ourselves about homelessness. In terms of, you know what that looks like in terms of the inquiries that sounds have to make, that you've not consented for us to make. So
I can't consent for you to contact someone I don't know.
I'm just going to address the question that you asked regarding housing advice. So that's all predicated on us satisfying ourselves on homelessness. If that isn't possible, and we ultimately can't reach that conclusion as a local authority, what I would recommend you do in the interim is perhaps try to secure alternative accommodation, like in the private rented sector.
I have no money.
And then try and
I have zero money.
And then try and expedite that process with granting deposit in advance for discretionary housing.
Okay, I'm going to end up on the street on Monday, and I have no money,
and
so I
it's-
can't.
and
I
it's
can't
not
go
that
to private renting. I can't go to Framework or anywhere like that because my PTSD is directly triggered by them.
You've asked me to respond, and I will. You're saying that you don't have any financial. Do you claim universal credit at the moment?
My universal credit starts on the 8th.
Okay.
I'm not on a tenancy, so I couldn't claim the housing
Have
part.
you got an advance on your UC?
Yeah, I've been living off it. It's gone.
Right. Okay.
I can show you my house. I've got £3 in my bank account,
Okay.
and that's £2,000
So
overdrawn.
then, what you'll likely need then is a discretionary housing payment to then cover your rent advance and deposit to get you through that first month, and to then facilitate a deposit on the accommodation. And then
I don't have any accommodation to move
That's what I'm
into.
saying. You may need to try and secure some private rented accommodation just through the private rented marketplace.
Okay, but I'm going to be street homeless on Monday.
And if I can respond,
I'm going to be street homeless on Monday. So I'm not going to be able to get housing before then, am
Well,
I?
it's possible. I've seen it happen, but each person.
What, with your support? Are you going to support me doing it?
Well, I've advised you on what that's predicated upon, and I'm not here to rehash that. If we're then looking at the alternatives, I believe the night shelter is open.
Okay, I can't be around homeless people because of the nature of my vulnerability.
And in which case, then that's the extent of the advice that I can offer at this juncture.
So you're refusing to know section, was it 158? Is it 154 and 158? Is it 158? Temporary accommodation. Interim accommodation. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you offer me that?
No.
Why?
So I'm not satisfied with homeless.
Why am I homeless?
Well, like I said, I'm not satisfied with the case.
How would you be
With
satisfied?
the inquiries that someone needs to make.
So the only, I said, is there any other thing you could do other than ringing the person that I do not know, that has never met me before, that is going to cause me loads of shit in my
I know
life?
Sam's spoken to you about the extent of those inquiries. I know he's going to write to you because I know you wanted them in writing, and not only what the inquiries would need to be made, but also the reasons the inquiries would need to be made. Sam's going to make that available to you.
No. I would say, other than you calling someone that's never met me before and asking
And
whether
the
they've
phone
met me
inquiries,
before,
Sam
that's going to cause me lots of shit. What other options are there?
And the further inquiries that Sam referenced, yes.
No, he hasn't referenced anything. I asked him what
So the need to access bank statements.
I can give you
so-
bank statements now.
Oh, wonderful. So I believe you said that you were going to send them to Sam.
Yeah, but I can't access my emails. I can show you on my phone, right?
Building.
But I can't
There's
stay in
free
this building
Wi-Fi.
any longer.
Well, I think you just understand.
But I need my housing sorted. So I will show you. I'll show you.
So it's not going to be resolved within the next until Sam's done his inquiries. And as I advised before, I came in as a courtesy.
It's your
And
job,
not
bro.
the-
It's your fucking job.
But it's my job to manage the service.
Yeah, and you are managing the service by speaking to
My
me.
job at the moment has been addressed by Sam because he's given me the advice, informed you what you need to do, informed you what he needs to do, informed that he's going to put it to you in writing, and informed you of the reasons for the same in writing. I've been informed that you want that reiterating to you, and now equally we're having this conversation that I feel that's already been had with at least two other people, perhaps three.
Because
So
you're
there's any-
shit at your job.
Okay, so you're one of the top perspective, and I'm not here to engage in insults.
Sorry, it's because I'm frustrated.
I know
Surely
you're
you
frustrated.
understand that.
And I do, but
So look, before you leave,
okay.
let me show you my bank. You want my bank statements? Fine, I can give you my bank statements, and you'll see that over the past 2 months, because I've had no money, I haven't paid rent. But previous to that, I was paying 425 to Steve for me to be able to leave my stuff at his house and stay there when it was available.
Okay.
Right? I can prove that
Okay.
without it causing lots of shit by you calling the landlord and dropping Steve in it. Does that not make
But
sense to
Steve
you?
also doesn't live in the accommodation anymore, I believe, because that's the whole point of this no longer being arrangement.
Yeah, but he's mates with the landlord, though.
But then, personal relationships don't object people from being subject to the law. So if Steve's been illegally subletting the accommodation,
It's none of your business
then
what he's doing.
it does, because
No, it's not any of your business. It's me that's homeless, not him.
Sir, if I may just explain why, because it's having a consequential impact on you, it's having a consequential impact on the homeless application. That's why it matters.
Right? You know, sofa serving is homeless, right? That
Of
is
course.
considered homeless.
Yes.
I've been sofa serving for years,
I
right?
understand.
And I don't have documents to prove that. I can show you on my bank statement that I was giving him money to contribute to bills and stuff like that. But I don't have a tenancy agreement. I don't have tenancy rights.
That's fine, we can still have a tenancy agreement without having a written agreement. You still have a license without having a written agreement. That's not a...
But I don't have any legal housing rights. No.
And no one's saying that you did. Just for clarity. No one's saying that you had secured your tenure at this accommodation. But at the moment, all we've got to establish that you were there is a phone conversation with this gentleman to say that, yeah, he was staying with me for X amount of time. I need a little more than that, unfortunately.
But how are you going to get that from a landlord that's never met me?
But it's still a reasonable inquiry to make. It was their accommodation.
So how are you going to contact the landlord?
Or if you're saying you don't have this contact,
I don't, because I've never met
I'd
them.
like to speak to Steve and obtain them from him.
And that's going to cause me and Steve lots of shit.
Then that's an unintended consequence. And I'm sorry that your relationship with Steve might be compromised by that. But also,
Okay, you call Steve,
And
but I'm going to check this with Shelter under GDPR law, and I think I will be able to get you on.
Well, you've told me that, so you're telling me to ring Steve, but you're also saying that you think it's a GDPR breach if we do ring.
Because you're going to share my data with a third party that doesn't know me,
But
that
you
isn't
don't-
involved.
But that's
in
what I'm
it.
saying. But you're saying, so, no, just clarify. Are you saying that you do want us to contact Steve, or you don't want us to contact Steve?
I'm very dubious about the legality of what you're about to do.
Those
You know what? I don't want to end
Those
up on the street on
if you-
Monday.
if you want-
I don't want to end up on the street
you
on
want
Monday.
to-
So you contact Steve.
if you
you
want-
contact Steve ASAP, and you get back to me and make sure I don't end up on the fucking street on Monday.
And with all respect, sir, don't put your fingers in my face. And
It's
don't
not in your
swear.
face.
That is in your face, in my face, sir.
Okay.
I would ask you not to swear at me, which is the second time. I'd ask you not to point at me, because we're having a very civil.
I'm
civilised
trying to,
conversation.
but you're not doing the
I've come
job.
here and tried to be respectful and tried to be civil and tried to be amicable.
I do
and
apologise,
explain.
bro. I do apologise.
And I
I'm
appreciate
very,
your frustration,
very
and I don't take it
frustrated.
personally, and I appreciate animated because this is your life, and you have health concerns, and ultimately you might face homelessness on Monday.
I am
Homelessness-
facing homelessness.
Homelessness in real terms being sleeping on the street. So I'm not ignorant to that reality, but equally I feel like we can have a civilised conversation in that
I'm
process.
trying.
And I appreciate that you are, but equally you're swearing at me in your point.
Yeah, and I do apologise for that.
And that's okay. So in respect of what the next, poll, 24, 6, 20, 48, 72 hours look like, are you permitting us to contact Steve?
You contact Steve. You contact Steve. See how that
Okay.
goes down, is how it's going to affect my life.
Okay.
And I will, potentially make a complaint about it further down the line, because it's going to negatively impact my
But I
mental
don't
well-being
understand,
as a
so
vulnerable
Is
person.
it something you do want to have done?
I don't want to end up on the street, so I'm giving you consent, but not willfully.
I don't
It's
understand.
because I have a choice. Either I end up on the street,
I don't understand.
or I give you consent to contact someone that doesn't know who I am. Right? So I don't have a choice. So I'm going to consent. But I'm asking you right now: is there any other way you can do it?
Well, like I said, the reasons that Sam explained are what I've asked Sam to follow up through. Now, they were centred on contacting the landlord, contacting Steve, and then looking at the bank statements to show payments. You advise that can be done, which is great. So if you want to wait here or have them sent, because you're saying you don't want to be in the building any longer.
Do you not want to be in this building?
So if you can send us those statements, that'd be great, because then we would see throughout the time that you've been staying with Steve that there are financial transactions that would replicate or...
If I saw you there, do you have to call the landlord? Because that's my only issue. It's not that I don't want to prove that I've been living there. It's that I don't want to cause Steve loads of shit because I'm not a dickhead.
I appreciate your personal relationship with Steve, whether that be friendship or otherwise, and equally, you don't want to ruin his situation. No,
No, I don't.
personal situation. I'm not ignorant to that fact. So So if you've got bank statements that you can send to us,
Yes, I have.
perfect. Do you have the housing? Do you have the service? Or is that Sam's email address?
That's Sam's email.
Send it to Sam, because then it goes to him directly. I'll ask Sam to personally show me the bank statement.
Yeah.
And if we can see that there's financial transactions.
And the only time there will be is like the past 2 or 3 months because I've had no money, because that is the point where I've been unemployed and I haven't been on benefits. I've been on ESA and that's it. So I've had no money to pay rent. But if you look from, like, so what's the date? It's, yeah, so November. You'd be on the 25th. I think the last time I would have paid rent would be September, and then all the way through July. I don't know, like it's about a year. Like where I've been on and off staying there, and I was just paying him what I could afford. And I can show you that. That's not a problem. My issue is obviously with calling the landlord, because the landlord doesn't know me, and so nothing will be achieved other than you causing me shit. So that's my issue with
And I
it.
appreciate your concern, lack of better term. But if you can send those statements to Sam, we can see that, and I can then evidence. It further substantiates what you
Okay,
say.
I will send them to you.
Satisfy him.
I will. If I can log into your Wi-Fi, I will send them now.
It's good Wi-Fi. It's for many councils. And you have to type in good Wi-Fi in Google, and it takes you in like a username and password.
There'll be something on the wall. I'll find it, or I'll just go somewhere else. I'll go to the train station or something. I do apologise if I was losing my shit at you, but you have to understand this is very frustrating, and I do know what the law is, and I do think that there is some shady shit happening here. But you know, that is just the way housing seems to be anyway. I did work in the system for 10 years. It's nothing personal against you. I do apologise for swearing. If you could look at them bank statements and get this sorted for me ASAP, I would be really grateful, because I do not want to end up on the street on Monday. And if I do, I will be making all sorts of complaints, and I will not let it go. I'm like a dog with a bone. And I don't want to go to that level. I just want things sorted. So I will send you those bank statements. If you have to call Steve, you do it. But that will be a line for me where it's like I will follow that up. Like you said, I will follow it up afterwards and question whether that was legal, whether I was coerced, whether or not.
Do you feel coerced now?
Yes, because I feel like you are
Consent,
asking me to.
consent given coercion isn't consent. So.
Well, I mean, this is a problem for you to figure out, isn't it?
Well,
because I can say.
I've already figured it out, with all due respect. If you're saying you feel coerced, then that's not consent.
So what? I'm saying ring Steve. I feel coerced into letting you do it.
But that's what I'm saying. But then if a person feels left,
Because I have,
coerced,
otherwise I end up on the street. This is the options. Either I let you ring Steve, or I end up on the street.
That's one question.
So I have
That's
no
one
choice.
question that I don't think we've spoken about this far in this conversation. This just comes to my mind, so forgive me. Why were we okay to ring Steve previously and we're not okay to ring Steve?
Because Steve's not the landlord. Steve's the person whose house it is.
I know, he's a tenant who the
So if you ring his landlord and tell them that there's been someone staying in the house that shouldn't have been, it's going to cause Steve loads of shit.
But I would understand that if you were saying don't ring the landlord, but you're saying you feel coerced into ringing Steve.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I said don't ring the landlord.
So we're okay to ring Steve.
Yeah,
So do you feel coerced to ring
Steve?
Do you feel coerced
You've already spoken to Steve, that's sound. But if you ring Steve and say to Steve, you need to give us your landlord.
So let me make sure I understand.
That's a different matter.
I don't want to misrepresent your position. So this is for me, not you, to which I understand, that's all. You're comfortable and you don't feel coerced if we speak to
You've already
Steve.
spoken to Steve, that's fine.
Just to clarify, you don't feel coerced if we speak to Steve aside from the landlord, that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
But if we speak to Steve as a means to get to the landlord,
Then I would say that is an issue.
Okay, no problem.
And if you can't see why,
No, I can see why.
But I have no problem. You've already spoken to.
Because if, for instance, if you send Sam the bank statements, and Sam comes and Dan to show me our emails and see and says it's bank statement, and we can see the payments.
Yeah.
And at least, sorry. If we then ring Steve and we say, hi Steve, we've got a series of payments on Can you just sort of let us know what these payments are for?
Yeah.
And he might say, oh well, he was just helping out when he can with some financial.
So that's not a problem. That's absolutely fine.
That's what we're looking at.
Okay, cool.
So that would then satisfy homelessness.
Fine.
If that kind of information wasn't there, then that's when we might have to make.
Okay, there must have been a misunderstanding here then, because I've no problem showing you my bank statements, and no problem with you contacting Steve. My issue is with you contacting Steve's landlord, because it's going to put Steve in the shit, and then Steve will fall out of me, and that causes the whole
I get the
effect
personal
on my mental
relationship
health.
aspect of things.
So yes, contact Steve. I'll show you the bank statements, and if that will satisfy you, great. If you then ask Steve to call his landlord, I will say I don't consent you to do it, but I will follow that up, and I will find, and I think we'll find it's improper.
That perhaps might be a conversation we don't necessarily need to have now. That's what I'm saying. Let's focus on the things we agree on.
Yeah, totally.
And if there's things we may disagree on, let's worry about them in the future.
Yeah, alright. I'm solution focused.
Let's not ruin a productive conversation now with things we might not even have to worry about.
I feel like we've made progress now.
Yeah.
This is good. So I'll send you the bank statements. I'll send you from like, I can send you from like August last year.
All we need is when you start, just from the period you were living with Sam.
It'll be like August last year.
To now.
Yeah, to now.
And then we'll just see the payment to marry up, basically.
Yeah. That's not.
We'll call Sam to corroborate.
So can you ask Sam to give me a call when he's looked into it? Because I don't.
Yeah, that's fine.
Ideally, that's why it's really stressful.
I appreciate it's a traumatic experience. It's not only on a personal level for yourself, but just objectively. It's an open span place. You've got people coming in left, right, and centre.
It's
You don't know who's seeing you. If it's a bit of a fishbowl. Okay.
So it's really good. I used to have to bring my clients down here.
Yeah.
I didn't bother me so much because that's like, at least I'm getting paid to sit in the queue, like as I watch Roma. But when you're sat here and you're queuing for 5 hours, you don't even get to sit down, and then you're just accused of being a liar, that's a whole different experience. And I'm not getting paid for that time.
And I get that.
And I'm not even getting the service that I want.
If that, I don't want to say if that did happen, because I'm not saying it wasn't true, but that's, I'm not there, that wasn't me, I can't really say
I
can only speak to the experiences we've had. And aside from, let's put them down to pieces of emotion, and I appreciate it's easy for me to sit here and keep my cool when I might not be the wrong person receiving. I'm not the wrong person receiving an overseas, I get it. But equally, like we're having now, we can still have a civil conversation.
I would much rather leave this. I'd much rather leave this with me and you on good terms.
We are on good terms.
And this person's going to do their best to try and help me. That's all I want. I don't want. I'm fed up of fighting, bro. Like I had to fight my work after they threw me under a bus after I witnessed a fucking murder at their work. And because of that, I haven't got a job anymore, even though I had a 10-year career as a support worker. And now I'm literally it'd be so funny if you referred me to a framework service. We really couldn't do that because it would be massively improper. But it's probably it's like, I'd love to go up to mechanics house. I used to work like, hey guys. Anyway, I'm going to get back to your job. I'm going to send you these emails to Sam. And if you could just please just try and get it up.
I'm literally going today. So if they get to Sam today, I will see them today.
No, I'll send them now. Like I'll literally send them as soon as I get out. I'll just send mine. And if you could just get someone to contact me this afternoon.
So Sam look at them, from his perspective, I'll look at them myself.
Thank you.
And then we can make contact with them again. I'm sure you've got your phone number in the line, I'm sure we do.
Yeah, you've got all my details.
So
phone
if
number, email
that's
address.
you just say,
Ideally,
get it and stuff. Yeah. Unless someone's give you a call and we'll go from there. My friend, I feel like
I appreciate you.
We've
managed to get to some really crowds.
We have.
So I do appreciate that. I do apologise for the reason. It's not like
I appreciate seeing people say we have to necessarily.
I'm not like that usually.
I appreciate it's an emotionally charged situation.
Yeah, I do apologise. Cheers, Julie. So someone will contact me today, yeah?